What were Jimin and Jungkook doing at Gimpo International Airport just weeks before their military discharge? Was it the start of BTS's long-awaited comeback, or is something far more unexpected in the works? Seoul, June 18th, 2025. In the quiet hum of departure gates and arrival halls, two familiar silhouettes turned heads and sent millions of fans into a frenzy. BTS members Jimin and Jungkook were spotted at Gimpo International Airport on May 23rd and 24th, just weeks before their official military service ends on June 11th, 2025. But what exactly were they doing there? And more importantly, why now? Eyewitness accounts, shaky smartphone footage, and blurry paparazzi shots ignited a firestorm across social media, instantly trending under hashtags like #JiminAtGimpo and #JungkookJapanTrip. The duo was reportedly en route to Japan, a country deeply intertwined with BTS's history, global fanbase, and past musical milestones. Could it be a new solo project? A pre-recorded reunion? Or something even more mysterious? We don't know for certain yet. But fans and insiders alike are buzzing with theories, and many are pointing to one thing. This isn't just another casual appearance. This is the beginning of something big. Possibly seismic. The timing couldn't have been more suspicious. South Korean military regulations are notoriously strict, especially for celebrities. Yet under certain permissions, enlisted idols can travel abroad for specific cultural or diplomatic purposes. According to a Sportskeeda article published on May 25th, 2025, both Jimin and Jungkook had secured such permissions, but here's where it gets puzzling. The nature of their trip was never officially disclosed. No agency statement. No pre-release hints.
No teasers.
Just silence until the photos surfaced. Some fans claim they saw managers trying to block lenses, shielding the idols with oversized coats and travel gear. Others suggest the pair moved swiftly through VIP corridors. But nothing can erase the fact that they were seen together and that their destination was Tokyo, Japan. Why Japan? Why now? Let's be real. Armies are no strangers to analyzing breadcrumbs. And the crumbs here? They're oddly shaped and deeply intriguing. First, the speculation about a BTS reunion. With Jin already discharged in December 2024 and J-Hope following shortly after, the timing for a group reconnection in mid-2025 feels almost too perfect. June 13th marks BTS's anniversary, a date sacred in the fandom and one that has historically been tied to comeback announcements. Was Jimin and Jungkook's trip a secret filming for a comeback video? Could it be a surprise performance or a fan-centered project? Or, in an unexpected twist, is this a duo debut in disguise? Many fans point to the tight friendship between the two, dubbed Jungkook by loyal shippers as more than platonic. From matching tattoos to emotional performances, their chemistry is undeniable. So when they were spotted traveling abroad together, unaccompanied by other BTS members, it sent a very different kind of signal. Could this be a unit project? A Jungkook collab album? Or, dare we say, something personal? On platforms like Quora, Twitter, and niche forums like juliansanjose.com, discussions spiraled fast and furious. Some fans speculated about a secret recording session, while others voiced more emotionally charged theories, ranging from romance rumors to contractual breakaways. A trending post from user Kooky Hearts reads, "They didn't fly to Japan for nothing. This is too soon after enlistment to be random. HYBE is planning something, and we're not ready." Another user fired back, "Stop romanticizing everything. Let them have a life. Privacy is not optional just because you stan someone." And that's where the controversy deepens. Not everyone welcomed the news of their sighting with excitement. In fact, a significant portion of the fandom expressed outrage, not at the idols, but at the invasion of their privacy. The unauthorized photos, reportedly leaked and distributed without consent, reignited a long-standing debate about how far fans should go for updates. Several users called for boycotts of outlets sharing the images. The emotional toll of being under constant surveillance, especially during such a vulnerable transitional period post-military, cannot be underestimated. Sportskeeda's May 24th update acknowledged this, referencing several army groups urging respect and privacy for the members during their military phase. And yet, the curiosity remains. The mystery only deepens. Could this all be part of a calculated media play? After all, BTS and their management company, HYB, are masters of momentum. The timing, the silence, the slow leak, it fits a familiar pattern. One that leads to jaw-dropping reveals. Still, others argue this may not be BTS related at all. What if Jimin and Jungkook are pursuing solo ventures post-service? We've already seen Suga's international tour, RM's introspective albums, and V's fashion-forward ventures. Why wouldn't the golden magne and the silver-voiced dancer step into their own spotlights? If that's true, then this could mark the beginning of a new BTS era, one defined by individual artistry as much as group legacy. Or could the band be planning an even bigger reformation, one that spans nations and defies the traditional K-pop playbook? That's the million-dollar question, one we don't yet have an official answer to. But what we do have is a moment, one caught in the flash of an airport lens, that has ignited global speculation, divided fans, and hinted at something far bigger than we can yet see. Will Jimin and Jungkook speak out? Will HYB confirm any rumors? Or will we be left in the dark until the next sighting, the next clue, the next breadcrumb? Until then, all we can do is watch, wonder, and wait. One thing is certain: BTS is far from over. And whatever is coming, it's going to change everything. The silence that followed Jimin and Jungkook's airport appearance was not just absence, it was deliberate. In the K-pop world, silence often speaks louder than press releases. While tabloids and fan forums burned with speculation, HYB's decision to withhold clarification only added fuel to the fire. And in that silence, 1,000 theories were born. Was this trip coordinated to avoid media scrutiny? Did it mark the beginning of a multi-phase promotional rollout, meticulously planned behind closed doors while the rest of the world remained blissfully unaware? Or was it something more intimate, an escape, a breather, a moment of stillness before the storm? What makes this moment particularly unsettling and thrilling for fans is the emotional weight behind it. Jimin and Jungkook aren't just performers. To millions, they are the soundtracks of growing up, healing, connection, and transformation. Their presence during a pandemic brought comfort. Their military enlistment brought grief. And now, their reemergence into public life has become symbolic of something larger than just fame. It is rebirth. And rebirth is rarely simple. Across social media, posts don't just speculate, they ache. A tweet by @JiminStars reads, "When I saw that blurry photo, my heart stopped. Not because they were famous, but because it meant they were coming back. The wait might finally be over." There's a poetic desperation in the way fans express their longing, not for gossip, not even necessarily for new music, but for reconnection. A reunion not just with BTS, but with a part of themselves they placed in hibernation the day enlistment letters arrived. And yet, the mystery persists. Why hasn't a teaser been dropped if this is part of a new project? Why no coordinated social media hint, no cryptic Instagram post, no Bangtan Bomb episode strategically timed to raise pulse rates? For a group that has mastered narrative building, this silence feels intentional, calculated, unsettling. Then there's the wild card element: Japan. Historically, BTS's Japanese releases have been powerful moments, often under the radar compared to their Korean comebacks, but rich in visual storytelling and musical experimentation. What if this entire situation is a nod to that legacy? A return not just to the public eye, but to a specific sound, a distinct aesthetic, a moment of homage? There's also the undercurrent of separation anxiety among fans. Some dread the possibility that this might signal diverging paths. What if Jimin and Jungkook's journey is less about reunion and more about independence? The very idea threatens the unity ARMY has clung to for years. The emotional stakes are sky-high. Could this airport sighting be the first whisper of permanent transformation within BTS? Meanwhile, industry insiders are beginning to murmur. One anonymous producer shared in a closed-circle discussion, "There's something going on." A production team I know was called in for a hush-hush project late last month, right before that Japan trip. No names were mentioned, but the timeline fits. If true, This would suggest something massive is already in the works, possibly tied to either a surprise drop or a cinematic release, as BTS has increasingly embraced visual albums and multimedia experiences. The emotional magnetism of Jimin and Jungkook as a duo cannot be overlooked either. Jimin's delicate yet precise artistry combined with Jungkook's all-encompassing vocal strength is a pairing fans dream of, but rarely get to experience exclusively. Could this be the moment they finally explore that chemistry fully, away from the collective identity of BTS? Or are we all being brilliantly manipulated? K-pop, as a machine, thrives on anticipation. Teasers are dropped in fragments. Lives are streamed in silence. Albums are hinted at in emojis and outfit choices. In this universe, nothing is accidental. So what if every blurred photo, every delayed statement, every missing detail is part of a brilliant prelude? A psychological crescendo leading to a release that redefines BTS's place in global music forever. Yet amid all this theorizing, there's something hauntingly human at play. Two men, dressed casually, walking through an airport. No press, no stage lights. Just Jimin and Jungkook, returning from a place they haven't explained. In a world where every movement is watched, filmed, analyzed, it's the gaps that carry the most power. We don't know what they were doing in Japan. We don't know if they'll return with music, a documentary, or simply stories. But we do know this: BTS has never moved without purpose. And when Jimin and Jungkook move, the world listens. The countdown has unofficially begun. Every moment from now until June 11th, 2025, the date of their military discharge, will be examined for clues. Every social media post, every shift in HYB's activity calendar, every whisper from insiders will be seen through the lens of this mystery. Is it a comeback? A new chapter? Or the most brilliant misdirection in K-pop history? Stay curious. Stay awake. Because something is coming, and it may not be what anyone expects. And just as the world leans in, breath held, another question rises. What if this mystery isn't meant to be solved? At least not yet? What if Jimin and Jungkook, long seen as the golden heart of BTS, are doing what they've always done best, disrupting expectations? Since their debut, BTS has walked the line between hypervisibility and intentional ambiguity. And no two members have embodied that delicate tension more than these two. Jungkook, often labeled the Golden Magne, is a paradox, hyper-talented yet profoundly humble, endlessly driven but emotionally grounded. Jimin, with his ethereal vocals and magnetic stage presence, has long danced between vulnerability and command. Together, they are yin and yang. If they were to craft a project, a visual EP, a short film, an art house documentary on their journey through enlistment, it wouldn't come with loud announcements. It would begin exactly like this, with a whisper, a blurry image, a flight itinerary never explained. What fans are now realizing is that this may not be marketing. This may be storytelling. Not through tweets or teaser posters, but through movement, silence, and curiosity. The question isn't just, what are they doing? It's, what are they saying without saying it? As June 11th approaches, the symbolism becomes impossible to ignore. BTS's contract renewal window, historically tied to the years surrounding military service, could mean huge structural changes behind the scenes. Could Jimin and Jungkook be renegotiating not just their group identities, but their roles as independent artists under HYB? Or could they be scouting international partnerships, with Japan being a strategic first stop? That possibility turns this trip into something much bigger than a comeback tease. It turns it into a career pivot. Then there's the fan theory that's gone viral across TikTok and Reddit, the moon theory. According to some eagle-eyed fans, Jimin posted a photo months ago of a full moon, accompanied by a cryptic caption. Jungkook, days later, posted a video at night with no sound and a sky full of stars. Fans now believe these were Easter eggs, a subtle calendar pointing to this very moment. What if the trip to Japan was the fulfillment of a promise only loyal armies were meant to decode? Some say it's far-fetched. But in the BTS universe, nothing is too far-fetched. After all, This is the group that laced their lyrics with philosophical references, hid comeback hints in UNICEF speeches, and turned album series into cinematic sagas. When they act mysteriously, it isn't random, it's curated. Still, the silence from HYB grows louder. It becomes less about what they haven't said, and more about what they're letting us believe. Every day that passes without a statement makes the airport sighting more mythic. We aren't watching a news cycle. We're watching a myth be born in real time, and myths need emotion to survive. It's not just curiosity driving this story. It's emotion. Overwhelming, complicated, sometimes contradictory. Armies are excited, yes, but also anxious. What if this is a farewell? What if it's a new unit? What if it's the start of something bigger than BTS itself? What if the story we've known for a decade is transforming into something else entirely? One post from a longtime fan sums it up best. I don't know whether to cry or scream. I miss them so much, but I'm scared. What if they've changed? What if we've changed? That's the true power of this moment. It isn't just about Jimin and Jungkook. It's about us. About what we've endured waiting. About how we've grown up with this group, anchored ourselves to their story, and now find ourselves on the edge of a new chapter we don't fully understand. And what happens next? That's where the tension crystallizes. Some speculate that a surprise drop will happen on June 13th, their anniversary. Others say they'll hold off until August to let their full post-service promotions begin. Some believe they'll debut a short film in Japanese theaters, while others are convinced this was merely a personal trip cloaked in unnecessary hype. But here's the thing. Whether it's a cinematic masterpiece, a dual album, or a quiet pause before the storm, one truth remains. Jimin and Jungkook are not just stepping back into public life. They're redefining it. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the real comeback isn't in a song, or a stage, or a scheduled event. Maybe the real comeback is this feeling, this rush, this fire, the thrill of not knowing, the ache of waiting, the joy of reunion hovering just beyond the horizon. Whatever they were doing in Japan, whatever they are planning now, it is bigger than gossip, bigger than PR. It is a movement, and we are already part of it. Oh, hold your breath. Watch the skies. Keep checking the airport cams. Follow the moon and the music, because somewhere, in the silence, in the stares, in the rumors and the riddles, Jimin and Jungkook are writing the next chapter. And whether we're ready or not, it's already begun.